Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's video, I did want to talk about a company that I introduced to the channel a while back, about nearly a month ago now, being Ctrm Maritime. Now, when I made that video, it was sitting at about 35 to 36 cents, and since then, we have seen it grow substantially. I mean, it's grown nearly 230 to 240% over the last month, and it has been absolutely flying. Well, people do have a lot of reasons as to why this is happening. I've been keeping you guys as up to date as possible about them, but since the last update, we have gotten a few pieces of news that I did want to talk about today, and then I did want to also talk about why we have been seeing it climb so much. I mean, this was a very immediate turn. It was seeing some good growth, but over the last, I would say maybe 2 weeks roughly, it has just been absolutely flying. In 2 weeks alone, it's up about 223%. So I did want to just talk about that. I want to give my outlook and my opinion on it, and there are a few things that I did want to touch up on. Now, these are things that I have already talked about in my Patreon, so if you do want to stay as up to date as possible about your favorite stocks, you can always head down to the link in my description. That'll link you over to my Patreon, and that is where I'm fully transparent about all of my trades, the trades I've been making, my trade portfolio. I give them early access to the subjects in which I will be posting on this channel, and each different tier does have a whole bunch of different benefits and perks, so definitely consider heading down there. Secondly, if you are starting your own investment journey, or if you are looking to expand out to a new brokerage, I know Webull is in the US, it's in a few other countries, and they are offering 2 free stocks that are valued up to $1,850 with a deposit of only $100. So who doesn't like some free money? Who doesn't like some free stocks? This is a fantastic platform, and if you use the referral link in my description, you can get access to, again, up to $1,850 in stocks. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's take a look at an article that was released earlier today. It was about an hour ago, I would say, that kind of breaks down a lot of the growth and success that we have seen recently. One of the main reasons that we have been seeing a lot of growth from them is the fact that they have been so dedicated to their plan. Now, whenever they did first start all of this, I'm not gonna lie, in my first couple videos, I was somewhat pessimistic about this company. I was not a super big fan. I felt like they were diluting shares down a lot, and I didn't see the overall goal. But as we did start to see them start to use some of this capital raising in order to fund the purchasing of a lot of these different vessels that will then bring them revenue over the long run, I did start to understand the appeal, and I started to figure out, okay, this is exactly why they're doing what they're doing, and it made a lot of sense. And this is a company that I have become a fan of, especially over the last few weeks. So last week they did announce that they had agreed to purchase a Ctrm dry bulk carrier vessel. This vessel was built in Japan and comes with a purchase price tag of $14.5 million. Additionally, this purchase is not the only one for Ctrm Maritime. The company said this acquisition is just part of its larger growth strategy. In the same press release, it said that this acquisition comes after a recent announcement of another vessel that they had purchased as well. When these deals wrap up, the company will have 6 Panamax vessels, 2 Kamsarmax vessels, and 1 Capesize vessel. Altogether, this growing fleet will help Ctrm Maritime play a larger role in the dry bulk cargo market. Now, I really do like the fact that they have been continuously expanding out their fleet, as this is a very good time to do so. Now, we did see an article in the last video that I talked about where it's basically saying that a lot of these vessels are at a discount at the moment, considering a lot of companies have not been getting the most amount of work, especially with dry bulk. They haven't been getting a lot of work, and so what that means is that these vessels, the overall price of them will go down as demand does decrease as well. And now, as we do see in the future here, it does seem like the dry bulk, especially in the overall cargo market, it is expanding. It's starting to grow again, and people are starting to get back out there. The cargo market is doing better. So what that means is that they're taking advantage of the opportunity at hand while things are at a discount to do some of these different capital raisings in order to purchase these vessels at a discounted price, whereas in the long run, these will likely be bringing in them substantial amounts of revenue in the long term, short term, and midterm, which is a very fantastic thing. And I think a lot of people are starting to take notice at how strongly, in progression that this company is. They've been focused loads on getting these different vessels as fast as they possibly can. I think that they realize that this opportunity won't last forever, so they're doing what they can while they can, and a lot of investors have taken notice of that insane rapid work rate in which they are at the moment. Now, that is not the only thing, though. There's one other thing that has been making this thing pop off too, that has been somewhat exciting, and it's new and it's different. And as someone who's been in the market for, I've been in the market for a good amount of time now, to see this, overall progression of this new, almost like a catalyst in a sense, has been absolutely phenomenal. So one thing that we have seen is that some Reddit users have been showing their aggressive positions in the company through the sharing of screenshots. Reddit user Moonlight Coin said that CTRM has been the best potential stock in the portfolio, and then there are dozens of users encouraging other investors to buy more shares or hold their positions. So what we have seen recently is that Reddit has had loads of control over these different penny stocks, especially. The fact that Reddit itself is something that's been around for so long, but then you look at places like Wall Street Bets, places we've all watched the crazy videos about. The fact that they are actually having a big influence on different stocks now is almost hilarious in a sense because it's just so out there. It's so, different than what we've seen in the past. But if we do go over to Reddit, we can see that they are not wrong. People are going insane about CTRM. And it's so fun to watch it because people are really getting so aggressive. And the thing about it is it spreads like a wildfire, right? There's a couple things to notice. As this does grow in popularity and as people are starting to constantly talk about it, constantly post about it, it's not only spreading the name of the company, but it's getting this overall interest to grow. Because as the interest in this company does grow, what does that lead to? Well, what that leads to is if we come over to CTRM stock on just Google, we start to see that this leads to more big articles coming out. We start to notice, look how many articles have come out over just the last maybe month. It's been absolutely insane. There's article after article, and that is simply because these bigger industries, these bigger corporations, Pulse, Investor, Place, Motley Fool, they target stocks that people are talking about. And so as a Reddit does spread this thing like wildfire, then it spreads out to these bigger companies. And as they start to do it, it spreads it even further out to their consumers, and it just goes on and on and on. And next thing you know, you'll start to see a stock absolutely taking off 200% over the last 2 weeks. This market is absolutely insane. Just watching how, the stock action and the price action has just been being affected by so many different things than it usually is has been an insane thing to watch, but it's honestly a very fun thing as well. Now, these are things that we have to be very careful about because in the long run, I don't believe that the market is always going to react to certain things as it has now. I mean, I think hype has been driving a lot of these stocks up in the past, like maybe 3 or 4 months. And I do think that that is eventually going to slow down a bit, so we have to be very cautious. But again, I do believe that CTRM has a lot of potential for them right now. A lot of people are talking about them. A lot of big companies are making articles about them, and that is only going to positively influence them as long as they do continue to release positive information. Now, I know this video was a little bit different. We're not looking at stats. We're not really looking at anything specific, but just more talking about the fact that the hype is real, and it's so many people. I mean, look, don't sell today or when we hit $1, read below. Up this message so everyone can see. Let's make CTRM trending. CTRM was 0.6 last week, $1 today. CTRM floor soon. CTRM is going to make me millionaires. It's just crazy. It's insane. There's so much hype. Let me know what you guys think about all of this hype down in the description. Again, I know this video was a little bit different, but this is worth talking about, especially if you're like me. I have a position in CTRM. So it's important to know that people are getting excited and people are starting to talk about them because we've seen what that can do to a stock price very, very fast. With that being said, I do post on this channel 2 to 3 times every single day. Again, if you do want to get updated on this information as soon as I get it, definitely consider going down to the link in the description to the Patreon, as that is where I'm fully transparent about everything. I hope you guys do have a great day. I post 2 to 3 times every single day, and I cannot wait to see you all next time. Peace.